Good morning, what's happening? You're all very, very welcome. This is Tom O'Mahony here for Bucksock. Good Jesus Christ. Haven't had my tea yet. I'm just after getting the tea, so it's well, let's try that again. Buckshot pod, fucking hell. It's all over the shop, lads. It's gone off the fucking rails. This is the beauty of podcasting. I could stop and just re-record, but you know what? I don't think you'd appreciate the non-reality of it. You know what it is. It's the Buckshot podcast, and it is the 24th of May. How are you doing? 2017. Lovely. Things are great. The weather's pretty alright. It's not pissing rain, so I mean, nobody can complain about that. What an Irish way of opening a thing. Fuck it up, and then go straight into talking about the weather. Tom. What a fun weekend of gigs I had. Over in Galway. Very fun stuff. Piss fucking rain in Galway. They know how to do rain in Galway. Just to get the housekeeping out of the way, as they say. Wexford tomorrow night. Very excited. The 25th, the fantastic Davy Riley, internet sensation. He's coming down with me. Davy's a funky guy. He's funky as hell, but he's as culty as a motherfucker. It doesn't help from the exterior. People. I'm sure people are kind of half horrified to find out that Davey knows about cutting silage and driving tractors and stuff like that. But he's cool. He's far cooler than I am. He's coming down with me to the Lantern Theatre tomorrow night. So if you know anybody in Wexford, send them along. It's a small little theatre and it should be a lot of fun. I had to cancel the gig on June 2nd in Ratoath. Unavoidable circumstances. All the others are going ahead. You'll still see me in bunches of other places, like the Buckshot one. It's the 20th of July is going to be in the Roisin Dove, and still Museum of Comedy one is still going on later in the year. But there's there's been a couple of funky gigs after getting added in, like June 2nd, 3rd and 4th. I'm going to be supporting and touring with the fantastic Tom Green, which should be very interesting around the country. Bringing Tom Green and his producer wife and his camera person. He's going to be filming the whole thing. He's touring around pretty much the world. I think he's in Tel Aviv at the minute. There's the first sup of tea. Sorry, apologies for that. Yeah, he's in Tel Aviv and he's flying into Ireland. He's doing Vicar Street. Didn't get the Vicar Street gig, but I think I'm picking him up from the airport, so it'll be a bit odd dropping him off and going, see you tomorrow. But it should be fun. It should be fun. We better get on, or I better fix the fucking radio in the car. It could be weird, wouldn't it, if they just went, if they weren't the talky sort at all, which I doubt. I have a feeling I doubt he isn't. He is not the talky sort, but it could get weird, couldn't it? I'm going to see if he'll do the podcast as well. We'll have 3 days, but I'm guessing they want to do a ton of shit, because we're starting off in Limerick in Dolan's warehouse on Friday the 2nd. Then Roisin Dove in Galway the following night, the main room, and then City Limits Comedy Club in Cork on the Sunday night, main room. So it should be, I love all three places. They're absolutely class. I did Dolan's myself with Buckshot in the slightly smaller room, which it's like a 90 capacity. Thankfully I sold it out on when was that? It was earlier in the year. It was so much fun. Carl Spain opened for me. This local kid, he jumped on and did a bit as well. It was worth it, you know what I mean? Because it was like we had the room anyway. It wasn't that we were under any pressure at any time, but it was great. It was a lot of fun, that one. So I'm looking forward to getting back down to Limerick, and I guess Green does in a moment. I don't know if he's gigged here before, so it should be an interesting one. It should be interesting. I'm going to be at the Bear in the Woods Festival in Portlaoise, which looks funky as fuck. I've been seeing the pictures of them, what they're building and stuff. And I don't think it's going to be too hipster either, in that kind of way, because it has the potential to be fairly hipster. This even if it is, so what? But Right Said Fred are also playing at this thing, and so are, wait for it, House of Pain. So I'm just going to bug the shit out of people and see if I can get some of these lads on the podcast. Total shot in the dark. It may not happen, but we've been speaking. They're open. Apparently, the lads, they're open from both camps are open to it. But the problem being is trying to actually get some fucking time with them, because the media, which I'm not, but apparently the media have them plagued for interviews, and my only inside track is that I'm doing a headline set in there, so as an actual performer, I might get my fucking leg in the door, lads. So the week that's gone by, it has been fun. I was obviously gigging in Galway, a lot of fun. We got the dog. I told you we were getting a dog last week. We got a miniature schnauzer. And by miniature, I don't know, because it's a big enough fucking dog, as mini dogs go. Like, it's only a 9-week-old pup, but it's the size of what you would think a mini dog is. I think it looks like, I saw the mother of her. We got her down in Wexford. Seems to be all happening at Wexford. We got we got her, and she's already bigger than, like, she's the height of a Jack Russell, like, you know. So I'm figuring, judging by her mother's size and the amount of grub she's eaten, I would imagine she's going to be right up there with bigger than a Yorkie. Fucking the big Yorkies are even bigger than a Westie. So I'm guessing she won't, and she's definitely not too fucking flimsy anyway. Fucking hell, she's bounced herself off the ground more times, falling off. Social services will be listening to this now. Holy fuck! But yeah, it's a cool dog. Learns shit really quickly. Like, quite literally learns shitting really quickly. Like, within one day, she gammed on. Oh right, all this toilet shit that goes on outside. Oh, fair enough. I'm with you. So getting shit early seems to be fucking, I know nothing about dogs, but apparently they don't get it that quick. But this one, thank fuck, she got it that quick. What else? Oh yeah, I did the What's the Story podcast with the lads. It was absolutely fucking brilliant crack. So give a listen to that if you're, after you listen to this, just look for What's the Story. It's a cartoon of the two lads, Danny Murray and Mero Merrigan, two great, really sound lads, and we fucking rabbited on for about 2 hours. It was good fucking stuff. Absolute joy and devastation at sports over the weekend, whether you're liking it or not, or whether you like sports. My beloved Munster won. Commiserations to Leinster fans. I know, must have been a bitter pill to swallow, but what the fuck were you doing? Losing on your home fucking turf, for fuck's sake. You go top of the table for the whole fucking season, then you shit the fucking bed right in the last minute. They're leaders. They're missing leaders. They're missing them. Munster, though, my beloved Munster, beat the Ospreys. Now they play next weekend. And I've got a kind of an evening gig, so I hope I'm not going to fucking miss it. But sure, the final this weekend. Well, that was the joy, but then the absolute fucking agony was on Sunday, when my absolute beloved Tipperary lost to Cork. I don't think they saw it coming, to be honest with you, as All-Ireland champions, and poor old Cork have been down in their fucking boots for years. I do feel it may be the only big performance out of Cork this year, because they don't have the pedigree, lads. They don't have the pedigree. And as the fella says, it might be the best thing that happened, Tip, coming through the back door and all the rest of it. Way. But yeah, I won't bore the living bollocks off you with that kind of stuff. But anyway, just to get on with this fucker and not be bugging you with everything else, you're listening to this on whatever format you're listening to. Subscribe, because we're on all the usual fucking places. We're in Stitcher, SoundCloud, iTunes. You can follow me on Twitter on Tom_O'Mahony. On Instagram, just look for Tom O'Mahony Comic. Facebook page too, Tom O'Mahony Comedian. And if you do have any questions that are fresh or any sort of what the fuck's going on, Tom, what's the crack, just email the Buckshot Podcast @gmail.com. So like I said, listen, subscribe, share and comment if you feel like it. Now our guests today hung out with these over in guests today, I should say, hung out with them over in Galway. Two of the internet's biggest stars from an Ireland perspective. His name is Stevo Timothy and Sinead Nora. The two of them play a character's kind of a wife and a character, like a main character, and she's behind the camera just quizzing him. I've called Farmer Michael. You may have heard of him. You fucking have heard of him, I guarantee. Even if you don't know, you've heard of him, you've seen his stuff. It's fucking hilarious, the songs he does. And if you haven't, if you're listening to this, just type in Farmer Michael on YouTube, Facebook, anything. There's like 150,000 fucking followers on Facebook. Huge on Snapchat and all these things. So the guys were very candid. I say they were a little shy about it too, because they never come out of character typically. Like, but we had the crack because they were hosting the show that I was doing at the weekend, so they were happy enough to agree to it. So yeah, I mean, it was really fun, because it went in all directions really. And I think we were chatting for well over a fucking hour. We had to stop because we had to start the fucking show But yeah, I think you're going to like this one. If you like a bit of candid interviewing at all, there was it's a totally open book on everything. It was actually really sound. The guys, when we kind of came around, we got warmed up into it, that kind of way, because it's down there, have a drink of tea and get into it. So it can be a bit tough sometimes. But yeah, once the guys get into it, Sinead and Stevo, it actually became really, really fun and really, really nice to do. So yeah, without any further ado, please welcome my two friends, Sinead Nora and Stevo Timothy. Lovely stuff. Jesus, and we're all three of us. You've got fancier looking vapey yokes than I do.
Gay fags.
They are good. Yeah, they are. Yeah. They're gay fags. To anybody listening, it's a double entendre, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where did you get your ones? You look like. See, I don't want to commit to such a fucking big one.
Yeah, well, there's two big E6 stores in Galway.
Did you get sponsored by him?
No.
He totally
They
should
don't
have.
There's
particularly
a vaping shop with a name that I can't remember at this moment in time.
They're
Right.
particularly.
I totally would have.
Yeah, I know.
Thanks very much for doing it, by the way.
Thank you for
coming on the
No
podcast.
problem. No
and
problem at all.
congratulations on your wedding.
Thank you very much.
I
Do you
wanted
want to see
say
my
it on
ring?
the podcast.
I'm showing
Yeah.
everybody my ring.
Oh, it's so cool.
How badass is that?
That's really cool.
So the grey stuff is elk antler, the metal is white
Yeah,
gold,
yeah.
and the other stuff is timber.
My God.
It's cool, isn't
Is she
it?
at the same one?
No, she went for.
She would not.
No, the other she
You want the
wouldn't.
big stone on it.
No, her one.
granite,
No,
it's
her
not
one. Yeah. No, herself went for not traditional. It's kind of It's a what they call it, a Baru ring, but she went Irish made and all the rest of it. I didn't. I went straight to America to a fella. I
I'm
feel
not
like
getting herself a ring and a big lump of coal on it.
that's the fucking
Because the
job.
pressure you
I
put
don't
under is so
want
immense
to-
it'll turn the carbon.
I'll just say no.
Do you know what? That speaks volumes, doesn't it? Just a knob of turf. If you're
That's
probably from
science.
the
It's science though. The carbon and the coal, pressure, diamond.
No.
It's quite simple. I get you industrial strength diamond off some fucking drill bit somewhere.
Thank you very much for the whatchamacallit anyway for the it was a cool day. I
The
highly
pictures were very cool.
I highly wait till you see the pictures. Yeah, the pictures that's come out yet. Your man was quite an artiste that was taking it, so fuck knows what's gonna come from it like
I
but
love the one where she had the sword.
yeah.
That was class.
Yeah, we were going to cut the fucking cake with a knife, and the next thing she was all over. She went, "I know you totally prefer a sword." And I went, I know nothing about weddings, as women know more about
She
weddings.
knows you better than you know
Yeah,
yourself.
she goes, I said, well, what fucking sword do you pick? Because where do you go for fucking swords? Like, and she went, oh no. And she just turned the laptop around. She goes, there's a whole plethora of world of fucking swords. So we got the one from Conan the Barbarian.
Oh, yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
What else are you going to do? Like,
class,
it made no sense. But yeah, the hotel staff were a bit fucking freaking out a small bit. Yeah.
Jeez, if that was in Westside, no, the guards rang just immediately. Like it's just.
I know we went to a right. That's a nice spot. We went to. All right, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Imagine going down to the Westside Tavern and pulling out a sword.
Where's the West? Is that here?
Yeah,
The
it's
other-
where he lives. It's very.
Is it rough as fuck?
Ah, it's not too
It's very
bad.
cultural.
Culturally diverse.
Yeah.
Oh, very diverse. There's like white people and other kinds of white people.
Lovely, yeah.
Traveling white people.
Oh, don't worry. On the podcast, I guarantee you, nobody's listening to this. If anybody has listened past 3 seconds of any of my podcast, they know don't hang out for political correctness. And I just brought on Sinead, Nora, and Stevo Timothy. Like, yeah, political correctness is out the fucking window a long time ago.
Yeah.
Invented a new type of non-correctness, actually, I believe.
Yep.
Farmer Michael style satire.
Where did it? Yeah, was it just? Did you intend on doing it that way? Because this is the thing. I'm involved in so much comedy in different fucking yokes, but I swear to God, you two have to be the most. I'd say the most I see more often than anybody else in any other
I
format.
thought you were going to say the most hated, and I was like, yeah.
No, nobody.
that's-
I don't think anybody. No,
That's
nobody.
a good thing too.
No, because you don't like in what you're doing. You don't have any competition. Like, you know what I mean. You're not stepping on anybody's toes, like in any way. So I don't think anybody's getting
No.
pissed off, like, and
No.
you're not stealing the bread from anybody else's mouth, really, like.
definitely.
See it just as we'd almost see it as kind of a, I suppose a continuation of a character you thought might have been in Father Ted kind of thing.
Yeah.
know what I mean?
But
That
I
kind of-
remember seeing you somebody it was Pat McDonald sent me a video because he was talking about he did an ad for a short, very funny with Simon Stevo, and you played the whatchamacallit, and I knew I'd met your senior before, and I was like, that's very good. Like, you were very good. You were the taxi driver, the cranky taxi driver.
That was his first ever.
Yeah.
Jeez,
I was shitting myself.
But it was as natural as could be, like.
The funniest thing was when Simon Stevo comes in, he goes, I love your fucking videos, man.
Class,
and thumbs up first, and I was like, oh, he knows me.
You have to remember, rugby players do fuck all bar train, and they can't go drinking, they can't smoke, they can't hang around, they drink coffee and watch videos all day. So they spend a lot of their time sitting on their hole.
Yeah, that's when I kind of knew the power of social media. Then I was like, he knows me, he has heard of me. What the fuck?
Especially though, because our videos weren't that big then either.
No.
Yeah, but by Jesus Christ, you don't take your foot off the throttle when it comes to how many videos do you do 3 a week?
Oh, we could do 3 a day if we wanted.
Yeah, we do 3 a day, but we wouldn't obviously. We put up maybe.
Yeah. I was going like a few months ago. I was going to like just narrow it down to maybe 1 a week, and then I was like, no, fuck it. Like if you can.
People are hungry for it.
People are liking them.
Yeah, and all you're doing is asking 2 minutes of somebody's 2-3 minutes of somebody's day, like, you know what I mean.
And so many things will happen. Something topical will pop up, like, and I just go.
That's the most important thing, I think, in Farmer Michael. Obviously, we'll have topics picked already, but something relevant will happen in the news, and that's really important. People want to hear his opinion on things.
Yeah, you get messages going, what does Michael think of Enda Kenny's pension and shit like that?
Yeah.
So you kind of get a flavour then for what people are looking for.
Had you any idea it was going to get this big?
No, God.
No.
But you're at the cutting edge when it comes to, like, I'm fucking old, so I don't understand Snapchat. I'm just about get Instagram, and I don't think I fully get that, to be honest.
Snapchat is weird.
Snapchat's annoying because anybody can add you and anybody can message you, even if you don't add them back, whatever.
Yeah,
and you don't know who they are behind it. It's
kids mostly.
And stuff it just goes off into the ether. Is it after 24 hours? Or am I wrong? Is that
supposedly?
Yeah, after 24 hours, or your pictures. On your story, it'll be 24 hours, but you can send individual things that will last like 10 seconds.
From 1 to 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm guessing you get a lot of dick pics and whatnot.
I do.
Do you? A lot of Mickeys.
A lot. And then the best thing is when you call them out and oh, sorry, that was from my girlfriend. And I'm like, you're the 10th person who said that today. I can't be everyone's fucking girlfriend.
I just get middle-aged women hitting on me, really.
Do you?
Yeah.
No Mickeys?
No Mickeys.
Huh.
Got a few like shits in the toilet bowl.
Oh, okay.
You get a few of them, and you're like,
fuck.
Psychology of someone.
Is that kind of, like that's social media gone too far, like, isn't it?
Because they know it can be deleted, but I always threaten them. I'm like, oh my god, thanks so much. I'm going to screenshot that now and put it on the page. Oh my god, no, I'm sorry, that was for the wrong person. And I'm like, don't fucking do it again.
But then the opposite side of it, you get like I'll get like a snap video of someone in Cork or whatever, and they're like great grandmother sitting on the couch and she's watching my video on the telly and he's putting it on from his phone and he's recording it and it's the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Or I got a fella in, where was that, Saudi Arabia or something, and he had it like a hawk.
With the hawk on his arm, and he was
like,
like
all these shakes in the background, and I was like,
but he was like speaking whatever for him, but all he could make it was Farmer Michael.
Like, what the fuck? So that was strange.
It's crazy.
Like, so I suppose there's a positive side as well.
Yeah.
But it's great, like, to be able to reach like 6,000-7,000 people within an hour.
That's amazing.
Like, it's way quicker than
just on Snapchat
than any other social media.
And what's the trick? Is it keeping it up continuously? You can't just bang out one and just hope for the best.
Well, I think what we do most is, because you have our videos on Facebook, whatever, and you have the pictures on Instagram, but you can do with Snapchat. We're literally kind of show what we're doing during the day.
Yeah,
I think, and people appreciate that what they're doing when they're not doing videos or where they go.
It's the minute.
That's the thing. That's the thing. That's the thing. I'm slowly starting to wrap my head around, because I walk across the yard the same as everybody else would walk across the yard, but it would never dawn on me to go, do you know what, I'm going to tell people I'm walking across the yard.
Yeah, I know,
and there's something inside me going, what the fuck?
I used to get a lot of snaps going, you're always in bed, you cunt, because I tend to just do my snaps at home, like when I'm
because he's always
down in the
driving,
bed.
so I'd be doing them out and about.
And my back gets sore after a while, so I just like, I'll have a nice little lie down in the bed. So
I do a lot of mine.
Why don't you do Farmer Michael on the snaps? It's like, leave me alone.
But there'll surely be something soon enough with this, like Google are bringing out a new phone now. Basically, you can just blink and think at it, and it will basically essentially I'm guessing open whatever fucking app. So you can quite literally.
God knows it'll open on Google for me if I think about it.
Fuck yeah! Jesus, that would go fucking wrong, wouldn't it?
Midget porn just.
Hey, everybody, like the dirty looks that Sinead is throwing here now. But hey, who wouldn't? Like, I mean, it's only midget porn. You know what I mean? It's just like the mind does fucking wander too sometimes. Like you know what I mean? You see a couple of midgets, you're thinking,
how do they do it?
Probably massive Mickeys and all of them. You see,
probably
some stuff is not proportionate. You see.
Right.
it's taken a turn.
It has taken a turn. We're only, what, 9 minutes in? It's already gone into midget porn.
Yeah.
Instagram, though, I don't really like Instagram.
I don't get any of it, to be honest with you.
I don't like Instagram, but I do it obviously for shameless promotion purposes. So.
And Twitter as well. I'm not too much of a fan of Twitter.
No.
Twitter is very much SEO based and CEOs patting each other on the back kind of stuff, isn't it?
My point across in 120 words, like 40. Or 140 characters even.
That's where you've been going wrong. You've been fucking missing 20 for characters for all this time. Like you can get Sinead, keep going. There's another 20 characters there.
Damn it.
But Facebook is the one. Facebook is.
Well, it's where it all kicked
can
off.
make you famous, I suppose.
It is, it is bizarre. There was a point, like I'm guessing I've probably got 3 new likes in the last 2 years, but there was a moment when I was doing Damo and Ivor and I'd set up a comedy page and it was like 98, including mostly relations. And then while that show was on, I was doing fuck all, I'd stick up the odd picture from behind the scene, and 3,000 people showed up out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
And now I should have capitalised on it, but then again, I'm like I said,
Well, that's the thing though, like even from not a Facebook person point of view, I was watching that new programme on BBC the last day, I think it was called 3 Girls, and the first thing I do when I see the credits is I look up that actor or whoever's name on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, and I like it straight away. So that's probably what they're doing as soon as they see your name.
I suppose, yeah.
That's what I do all the time when I'm going to find someone.
The only trick is to get the people that like watch the videos and comment on them all the time but still haven't liked your page. There's a lot of them they just forget to like the page. They don't understand. Because I'm on everyone's timeline, so they always see me, so they think they're...
Of course,
they're already liking the page and that they're receiving whatever your new post.
But you've treaded the line perfectly. We've stayed in characters, but you've stayed in a likeable character and a change, because there's been 1 or 2 down through in the last, I suppose, 4 or 5 years that I found myself, because I found out the trick to actually turning off any posts to do with certain people. Yeah. Where you'll go, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah.
And I mean, but there's like, I like the culture element of it, but there's nothing you can't like. Whether you like it or not, you go, it's fucking worth listening to anyway, because it's funny, silly. You know what I mean? And there's a brilliant silliness to it, like, and that's what comedy is supposed to be about, is silliness. But there's 1 or 2 like where fuck me, and I suppose that's probably a lot of the trick too, is not trying to appeal to too many, but at the same time, but as you were saying before we fired this up, was that at the beginning you were kind of, there was a few people going, what the fuck is this racist carry on like?
The satire, but I think they genuinely thought he was like that.
Yeah, it was 40% of people that thought I was like that, 40% of people that thought I was just a horribly racist actor.
That's amazing.
So, but I suppose as time went on, then I mellowed out the character a bit to make him seem more
mellowed out the character and made the stories more ridiculous.
Yeah, so then I came up with the one about the gays are born with a funny hand.
Yes,
So then people kind of go, okay, he's satirising, he's making these people seem to be idiots.
Same way in that McSavage went to the fucking extreme of the bull. You know what I mean? That the fucking quails,
That's actually been compared to a lot. A lot of people say that Michael is like the Bull Mick's son or something.
Yeah, well, you know how the Bull Mick came out, who he is? The real Bull Mick.
No.
He owns the, and he's I know his daughter's definitely going to hear this, because he owns the, sorry Trace, she knows, but he owns the Halfpenny Inn.
Oh.
Mick Ryan from Tipperary. I walk in the door and he never, I've known the man 7 years and he still won't call me by my name. He just calls me from where I'm from in Tipperary as well. And he just, well, Bencher, you bastard. And he does have that laugh. He hits the counter. He's way over the top. And where it came about was McMurrow, he was one of the older characters on the Savage Eye, and they were writing one day, and McSavage was taking his show on the road anyway as well, but they were writing for the first or second series of the Savage Eye, and McMurrow had been gigging the night before, Dermot McMurrough, in the Halfpenny, and he was brilliant at these stories, just going off into the fucking crazy land where it start off real. And he was telling about how he went into Mick, and Mick is extremely beyond racist, like genuinely racist, not homophobic but genuinely racist. But Mick had gone on about how funny it was. Apparently the story, two gay lads were in the bar, and they were making out and kissing each other and everything and fucking, but they drink pints, and that's all he gave a fuck about, because he was he was probably charging an extra fucking euro. But McMurrow took it down a different road in the story. They were all sitting around the writer's table, and it was John Cleary who was telling me this, and it just morphed into this. and the two gays were inside, and before you know it, one of them had fucking hooks for hands, and he dug his hooks into the back of the other fella and just started riding him in the lair.
She does as well.
And the second he said it, McSavage went, I can make that way funnier, can I have it? And he went, go on, sure, I've just said it now, you can have it. And he did, he turned it into the bull.
I remember seeing that.
Hooks for hands. Do you know what I mean? But that's the brilliance of it, is just, if you're going to do it, go fucking silly. And you've done that the right way. Is that
I was just trying to think about how gay people make love, because there's no vagine. So that's why I came up with the hand, I suppose, because it was the only object I had there. And then that became a little kind of gimmick for a while, like explain things with the hand. Because I remember my uncle used to explain things like that. And he'd have big shovel hands, but he'd be so delicate with the touch.
Talking into the hand like this.
There's a thing there now, and you put the bolt into it, and you're looking everywhere but at you. And like that. And he'd always look lost, and I was like,
my old lad is the fucking worst, and I should do a character on him, because he's a lovely gentleman, but a savage. Like, do you know what I mean? But what he'll do is, it's not good enough to just tell you a story about where he walked into a bar, or where he walked into a thing, or he saw a yoke, or how a thing was made. He'd have to now grab a jug there. See now, Dad, that's the sprocket there now, if you can imagine that. And then all of a sudden we came in across, and you stick it in the side there, and you're going, Dad, that makes noise. You just, what the fuck? Just tell
I have power of imagination.
Yeah.
Or these people that are explaining something, watch. And then
and keep on hitting you. Yeah. Fuck
I have to be watching.
But even I did a podcast with my 97-year-old grandfather the other, and he was explaining it afterwards. He was talking about how, like, this fucker was ahead of his time. He put up an electrical turbine for this woman one time. He told the story on the podcast how the mayor of Boston, his family were originally from where they were from. It was like the fucking 50s. And rather than sending over the price of this thing, because Ireland was in the fucking Stone Age, he sent over this fucking wind turbine to generate electricity. It was like, electricity is the last thing we need right now. Trust me.
Electricity was witchcraft.
And that's the thing. The grandfather was actually selling electrical parts, and he quickly had learned up on how to wire a house. And I was like, you must have been like a wizard, because there was no other. But like that, it was brilliant watching him and explain. He'd go over and like a soda bread. Now you take this yoke here now, and you'll get over it, and there'll be a spoon jammed in the top of it. And you're going, I could have totally gotten the windmill from this. We don't need it. Yeah. But you've taken, you're brilliant. And how is there ever going to be Sinead and Nora ever going to turn into Kathleen?
I don't know.
Have you been tempted?
I've been tempted to do my own videos.
To fly off the handle.
But I don't know if I do it as Kathleen, because I think Kathleen only works off.
Yeah, it's the kind of shtick now that you're the mysterious person behind the camera.
Yeah, a lot of people get that as well.
Keeping
but I just
me in
think
control.
that they bounce off each other too well, that I don't know what she'd do by herself.
Yeah, people run about having Kathleen kind of correcting me and then reeling me in, and then her saying something absolutely horrendous, and me going,
yeah, we got great advice. It was from Adam Burke that time in Bray, and he really, really helped us. But it's just really hard, because I think Kathleen's so settled in what she does with Michael anyway. Then
are you thinking of parking Kathleen and starting another car? Like, I think partially racist, maybe, I don't know, maybe misogynistic fucking lunatic woman who believes, do you know, almost all the things that Michael believes in a way, but maybe works from behind the bar. I think it'd be fucking hilarious to see you over a bar go, and you know what, another thing about them fucking women, because did you ever meet older women who believe women are actually subservient? You're going, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing?
Men are the head of the family.
I think,
he must eat first, the poor man. Do you know, big fat fucker, like, you know, I've seen it.
He must have brought energy. He hit me so many times.
The poor man. I'll get you some ice for those knuckles.
And I have an awful hard jaw, I do. I must have Jesus.
I'm eating too much calcium. I'll get rickets for you.
I'll open up my legs now. Another baby.
But I think I keep Kathleen with Farmer Michael the whole time. I mean, I have my own page as well, and there's a good couple of thousand likes on it. So if I was to do something else, I'd probably put it up there and have him maybe share.
We kind of we done a different kind of video yesterday. It was kind of women v men kind of thing.
Going to the shop.
It's just a bit more relatable for people that
are on the fringes of fire. Aren't quite ready for Farmer Michael just yet.
Even though I look at them and they're similar to all these kind of other people that are out there doing similar things, but I look at their videos and I'm like, so where's the joke?
It
kind of makes
you feel a bit disheartened though of all the likes
Yeah, they'd have
and it's
400,000
so
views, like, and you'd have
Yeah, I mean, listen, I could put up fucking an hour of what I'd consider a fucking gold stand-up and it could get eight views.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Facebook is a weird fucking thing, like, but you know what I mean? So I definitely wouldn't fucking take
Or like
it.
when people compare me to someone, oh, he's a right, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm never making videos again.
Well, thank fuck you're not doing impressions anyway. I am so fucking done with impressions. I swear to fuck. If I have to hear one more Christopher fucking walking,
Oh, I know.
I swear to Christ, it's like, all right, lads, we get this. You know, fantastic. That's great.
Conor McGregor impressions are just...
I do my impressions, but they're hilarious because they're so bad.
Yeah,
that's
It's
how
Michael
but it's
doing his
Farmer Michael
impressions,
doing the impression.
Yeah. I do a bit where I'm on stage and I'm like, oh, I do a good...
Oh, I'm like, yeah, we were down in Mayo, Michael, and we went to visit your friend Enda Kenny, and when you're together, you like to do impressions of
And I
each
do
other.
this
And then,
to the crowd, and then you're like,
now do your Enda Kenny impression.
oh, I'm into Kenny and I'm a Mayo cunt. That's what I do.
Perfect, yeah. It's like a Scottish guy I used to work with. He used to catch everybody with this. He was a funny fucking foreman. Like, he was just a shit foreman, but really funny. Like, but he used to do like impressions for new lads that were after coming into the office or whatever. I'll do an impression of my mother. Wait to hear this, and he just shouting his own, "Get in, you cunt!"
Yeah,
and that was it. He goes, "That's my mother." Will I do my own lad? You're going, "Go on then,
Get in, you cunt."
Get out, you cunt.
Yeah.
You know.
Some people think they're brilliant at them, and they sound shite. Like.
No, I mean, good, bad, or indifferent. Yeah, I take my hat off. Fair enough. You can do an impression, but like you're cutting videos together like there's nobody's fucking business. Like, let's see you rock a room for fucking an hour or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Like, a lot of people comment on our videos and how cheap they look and how bad the sound is and things, and it's like, well, we're letting the comedy in it speak for itself.
Yeah. Well, that's
don't want all these like
zooms
and
like,
fade out, fade in. It's just turn on the fucking phone, rant for fucking 2 minutes solid.
Well, that's why I'm convinced of this podcast. I'm not like there is a theme tune and it lasts for 10 seconds purely because it was like, all right, I could just talk fucking straight. But there is only because of the variance of amount of, it's not just me every week. It was just me just talking every fucking week, which would bore the bollocks off of everybody. Like, there's only so many times you can say, "Great gig." You know what I mean? Great gig. Great gig. What I do put it just to break it up at the beginning, like, but like that, the fucking lads have kind of gone, here, man, I could, for a few quid, I could totally clean up. I'm like, no,
you're grand.
No, you're grand. The swinging dicks in the background were actually quite,
they're fine.
this is actually probably the most civilized place done one so far, actually. Even did one last week, like, and it was a guy, it was in a hotel in Tibray, and it was with Cummins, and we were sitting in a room, a nice little boardroom, but I swear to God, about 7 times the same bloke came in going, "Are you alright for everything, lads?" And you're like, "I'm fucking recording, you prick." Sorry. Oh, well, I came in, he goes, I need to turn the lights on outside there. Can I just, it's like,
You fucking do it then.
fuck.
Yeah, come in and do it. You don't need to talk.
But even at that, I wasn't that stressed.
Sorry,
It was like,
sorry for interrupting, but I'm not meant to interrupt you.
yeah. Will I put up a sign that says, "Quiet, please"? Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Oh, no. But like, I'd like to maybe like film them better on a camera and record the sound separately. But I'm shit at editing crap. I would like.
You'd be amazed, like, honest to God, though, you'd be amazed how fast you get at it, though.
She's seen me trying to do things on
Oh, we fall out over this.
I would end up like with bits of the computer in my teeth. Like
I'm telling you, though, I'm not joking with you. If you post it up there, given the following you have, does anybody in the Galway area? Because you'd have to sit with the person the first few times.
I know.
But I guarantee you. But then that's, you're farming it out then at this moment. And do you fucking need to? Like,
and then you're losing the immediacy of like hearing on the news someone as famous has just died.
Yeah,
you have to do a stand on this where we're kind of.
Yeah, because people will.
Them, but we're not. And then it's like, bang, get it up.
Well, that's it. Somebody will inadvertently let you down and go, "Fuck, I'm on holidays in Wexford with my family.
Yeah,
like, I can't."
Try and, I have to meet you now.
Yeah,
you can just get it done. It's instantaneous.
But that's the thing. Like, Snapchat and Instagram is just an amateur taking photographs with their phone, anyways, and people love that shit. So
hashtag photographer.
Yeah,
you're not.
Not true, you're fucking not. Like,
hashtag
the amount of the amount of people. Well, you would be more. You're definitely more up to date on social media people and that. Like, but you're kind of going. You're not. Well, you're not because there's 12 different filters on a fucking yoke, and you can put whatever look you want on it.
You don't look like that in real life.
Yeah. Trust me. And
some of them might say you'd be scared to meet them in real life.
Yeah.
Oh, there is a few fucking.
Especially with when girls do the. I don't want to be cruel about it, but like. Bigger girls and they do that thing with the hair.
I love what you've just done because you look like Cecil. Do you remember Cecil from? or Cecil, I should say.
Cecil.
But yeah, no, there is obviously there's a few Decepticons out there, all right, and I'm not joking with you. There's
And they as wide as they are high.
oh, come here. You can play handball off our back.
And then block her door, the cunt in a fire.
Body shame anyone.
So I can body shame all I want.
I know.
Well, my body doesn't work.
You're tall though, yes. You are tall people, aren't you? As a couple.
We get that a lot. I remember the first time we met Emma Dore in Galway. She came over, she's like, "You're really tall and really."
Well, I suppose ye as a group being the two of you, because there's tall. They're tall fuckers out in Galway anyway. Like there's like Midlandsy people like me. We're all short arses because we're eating.
From Galway.
Aren't they?
No,
where are your people?
And my mom's from Limerick.
My mother from Mayo and the father from Rashcommon.
No.
Rashcommon.
Something in the water here.
Where it's always Hapish 11.
Hapish 11. I love that B too. But that was the thing. I don't know what different counties, because that's what fascinates me more. I'm not into doing impression, but I do get fascinated by accents around the place. And like the Mayo one. Like we met this. We went into Foxford, as I was saying. We went on the mini moon out to, by accident we ended up in what we thought was an antique shop, but it was more of a brick and brack. Did you ever see Last of the Summer Wine? Do you remember the Owl Lads?
I know.
There was one character I remember seeing. I used to watch it years and years ago because it was just fascinating. It was like, how is this shit still going? But then you watch it and you go, oh, there's a tight story throughout this. Somebody good is writing this, and it appeals to. But there was a woman and she'd entice it. You'd have to buy shit off her when you go by, like, you know. But this one, she was this old woman, and it was like fucking 18 degrees, and she was wearing a trapper hat, and she was about 4 foot tall, and she'd an amazing fucking chin smaker, right? And I was looking at this fucking bench vice that was on the ground. I was like, because I'm after making a new bench, and I was like, fuck, I need one of them. And she goes, hello. And I went, hello. She goes, I don't coming in. And I said, go on, yeah, all right. Before I knew it, she'd moved like a cat, and she was beside me, and she was shoving me in the fucking door of this place. And she goes, have I been to knock? I said, no, she said, I walked there once. I walked to knock, I did. I said prayers the whole way. I'm like, I don't know where this fucking conversation is already. And before I knew it, I bought like a porcelain cat or something. I didn't want.
For that woman, you might as well be an American.
Oh
You're
yeah.
Foreigner. You're a mental foreigner with money to spend. And
where
I'm
are you?
taking it off.
Where are you up from? And I says, with herself is Dublin. Don't into the lovely spot. And you're going, my God, you're amazing. I just wanted to fucking just.
Can I take her?
Yeah, I just wanted to throw her under my arm and just take her away, because she was everything you imagine a wish to Ireland woman was, and every S had a H behind it, like every single one.
The windows.
That's the woman I should be on my.
Oh, she's amazing. Like,
and all E's are an I, so it's Inda Kinney.
Inda, yeah. Oh yeah,
Inda.
Inda.
I checked the calendar.
Calendar, yeah. But then that kind of translates to Limerick then, because there's a westness to Limerick, because they say things like hins. Like if you wouldn't have hens, you would have.
No,
she's out on her hen night. Yeah, and like my old man is from County, and so he'd say cement, not cement.
Do you know, comes as a thing from the Irish, though. The Irish language they speak in Munster, they do it different than here. They elongate the second part of the word, so cement.
Yes, yeah.
So it's like
no, weed elongate the second.
Weed elongate, yeah, sorry. Cement. So like I think.
But then I grew up in Tipperary. It was cement. Just my old man was just fucking just a bog warrior.
If you were to say the name, do you know the surname Walsh in Irish?
In Walsh in Irish.
Walsh.
What is that Walsh in Irish?
Would you say Brannock or Brannock?
Oh, I'd say Brannock.
That's weird, because most Munster people would say Brannock because they elongate the second part.
Right.
Yeah, that does sound so.
But then, then I have a Kilkenny mother.
Brannock just feels so wrong to me.
Yeah.
That never kind of super melted
or over
into
here
our
you'd
modern
say
English.
up the hill, Susan Knock. But in Limerick, Susan Cunnock.
Oh, right, yeah.
So it's different kind of things like that.
I don't know, but there was quite a fucking vacuum where I fucking lived now, to be fair. It was they were still. Did you get hit? Did you get hit in school? You're younger than me, though.
I got a few slaps. Yeah.
Did you?
I'm only out of college 4 years.
So you're like 24?
23.
23. So
I got a few belts, all right.
Yeah.
You weren't meant to, but they still did.
Yeah, well, I don't know. You see, no, there was no rules on it where we were like, and this is only still, I suppose, this is the 90s. This is the early 90s, and there was still belting going on. Like, you tell them mates of mine that went to school in cities, like in fucking.
They couldn't understand it.
Can't wrap their head around it.
Yeah. I often got a thump coming out of the bathroom if, like, the PE teacher came in and there was a cloud of smoke, like whoever was coming out was getting hit when
Yeah.
at the door. It was
No
normal,
letter
like.
needed to go home, sure.
No, Jesus.
It reminds me of that sketch in The Savage Eye when John Cleary was smacking your man with the cricket bat.
Oh, yeah.
So don't you dare hit him with the cricket bat. Use this hurl.
It's not a Protestant, for fuck's sake.
Stand up Protestant here.
But I do. The sediment thing is what was you? Because I remember again till the day I die. I don't know why I found it so funny. And half my childhood, I don't remember it. I don't fucking know why. Got hit in the head a lot, like.
Yeah.
But I'll never forget. I was cutting timber with this owl lad one day. It just went off as you did. You went off with an older man.
Yeah.
Into the woods.
Yeah.
To cut timber, which is, I mean, if that was written on any headline nowadays, but that's all it was.
Yeah.
He gave me like 20 quid to fucking just throw a few logs into the transport box, and that's all it was. And it's almost a pity nowadays that people, parents wouldn't.
Yeah.
There was nothing. The man
It sounds horribly euphemistic if you were to say it.
Yeah, it just sounds horrendous. Like, but I'll never forget. He allowed me to. I was like 8, and he was allowing me to drive the tractors. Head down to the shop. There was about a couple of cans of pop. I said, lovely.
A tinny of pop.
A tinny. Yeah. That's the thing from out west is that things. They almost seem less significant if you say "een" at the end of it because you're making them small.
Yeah. There was a major accident.
Yeah.
No,
An accident.
It was just an accident.
Yeah, but that's it. Like just.
That was only a brain submarine.
Yeah, he got. Well, if you got a bit, he got a bit of a slap. Oh fuck, did he?
Yeah,
Oh, but just a bit of a slap.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
well,
yeah.
right, fair enough.
He took a knock now,
Yeah, but
He took a fall.
He took a fall. The poor man.
Yeah.
But you just said the word "set him up," and I remember thinking, "There's no V in that."
Yeah, 7.
I didn't.
My old flat say that now. He'd say like half 11.
Oh yeah.
Roscoe 11.
11.
Half 7. Or when I was younger, he never used to say the hour. So you go, what time is it? And you go, half. And I go,
Really?
half?
Yeah.
I'm a child. It could be half 1, it could be half 11. I have no idea. Like.
But that was good enough. That's all you're getting.
Yeah, half.
And work it out yourself.
Yeah. I go to the back with stones and metal trying to guide this.
Was that kind of a deep-rooted thing in him where he never wanted to tell you when quitting time was, like, when you're punching out, it's just half past, keep going till you drop.
Should we'll wait now because I can't be judging this now. It's too much artificial light because I used to paint with them. Like.
Yeah.
Picking
We
fucking
come back in the morning, we look at it under the natural light. I go, Dad, it's done. You just let me go drinking with the lads. Give me my money. Oh, it's gas.
And would you consider yourselves Galway people then? Are you both? Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Even
born
though
here, but
you're both interracial.
Yeah.
So I spent a lot of my childhood in Limerick, down at my grandmother's, and up north, I suppose. But
And you have tried to stab me a few times, so it's in there. Like.
and then blow you up.
Jesus, hello.
There's nothing there.
Jesus. Hasn't even gotten dark out. Lovely.
But yeah, we both went to school here and stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I suppose I consider myself like my parents moved here when they were like their late teenage years, I think.
Right.
Or something.
Yeah, my mum went to college here. My dad's a musician, so he was playing here when we met her. So
It's a place that gets its hooks into people, doesn't it, Galway?
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like a big version of Kinsale and Cork. Like it's
always
good
say
fucking crack. Like
it's a little version of Dublin. It has everything that Dublin has, but
Except
it's
the
way
junkies.
Yeah.
There's a few
Except
junkies
that.
now and all that.
Yeah, but it's much calmer. There's no ridiculous traffic, and everyone's just really chilled out.
Yeah, our junkies are funnier.
yeah.
Less menacing.
Friendlier.
Yeah,
More
I
kind of
noticed.
clownish.
But there's an easy goingness too. Like you notice people aren't in as much of a fucking hurry.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah, it's chilled out.
Definitely.
Like the junkie last year for a $5 and you go, no, they look sad and they go,
Fuck
But
it.
they'll bless you. They'll almost give you a fiver because you don't have any. It's mad.
oh, jeez, what happened to your legs?
He'd throw you a couple of quid.
Yeah.
Then he
You're
sees you
off
sitting
with
into a
10, you're in a
sweet
bad way.
ass fucking BMW. Yeah. Here, listen. Oh, every bit counts.
Yeah,
every
because
bit
the
counts.
usual
Yeah.
culprits that laws come over them, we'll always throw them a couple of balls.
Yeah, but we kind of know them. And
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Used
Yeah,
to-
because I would have grew up with a lot of them, so I know their
Fuck.
families and everything. So I like personally know them. Like, some of them wouldn't come over and ask.
Yeah.
They'd say hello, but they'd never ask.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'd be a pride thing.
Ah, yeah, of course. Jesus Christ. Because I was only listening to, I think it was Jarlath Regan's fucking podcast. I don't know, do you listen to, but it was about, Hennigan was your man's name. Galway man. Holy fuck, did he pull himself up by his bootstraps? He ended up like beating the world fucking record for sailing across the fucking Pacific or across the Atlantic.
Yeah. He was on heroin.
But he was fucked. By 21, he was in a fucking flat with bin bags on the fucking windows, like.
Yeah, I read that. It was amazing.
And just pulled himself up by his bootstraps and became this fucking super fucking diver, and just went. But it's well, yeah, because nobody thinks about that because they come to Galway and it's like, well, this is the diddly idliest place I've ever fucking come to. It's like a town, a city that's themed by Irish bars, like, isn't it? It's the most Irish bar looking place. Diddly.
But it's almost like nouveau fake Irishy culture.
It is,
Washed over it.
I wouldn't be surprised if I walked down Shop Street and they decked out every building with iron jumpers.
Yeah.
Just they knitted an entire building, like just.
And cotton sheet.
They're
and
so
shit like
expensive.
That,
And my nana knit that for free.
Do you know you should go to Dublin to buy iron jumpers? I swear to God, it was so funny because herself is in kind of that business where it's diddly-diddly Irish stuff, like, but they buy stuff in from around Ireland, and that's what they primarily do is try to promote Irish sales stuff. But it's so funny, like if you were to sell it over the same thing in Galway, there'd be 20 quid extra on a fucking jumper because it's closer to actually where the Ireland Islands are. Like. Hysterically,
they should just have like signs in them shops like no Irish allowed, just Americans.
Yeah.
You're blocking the door from the Yanks.
Apparently,
see, like two Yanks coming in the brightest pastel colours.
Apparently, they're no fucking use at all to all the Yanks. Who you want in are the Swiss. That's who you want in. Yeah. And
they're loaded them cunts.
And the Nordic. There is no poverty in Switzerland. There's none.
I remember that one of them were staying at our Airbnb and they took a fondness to our turtle or whatever, and they're like, Can we buy stuff for the turtle? We're like, no, you're fine. That's really expensive.
It's okay, we're Swiss.
Yeah, she went, we're loaded. We're from Switzerland.
She bought a new heater, a new light, all these standing things for us because I had a big rock. And but he was grand with that.
He was happy.
Hold on, you have a turtle.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry, I just thought you.
Yellow-bellied slider.
I call it Siobhan.
Siobhan the turtle.
It's a good name.
Yeah.
It's a good name.
But like they just got all these. I think it came to like 150 euros.
I know, we were like, you really didn't have to. He's grand. Oh, but we're rich. We're from Switzerland. I was like, okay.
I was like, what are you doing staying in my house? Then you could be staying in a fucking major hotel. Fuck off.
It was mental.
But you see, they were probably just for the crack. You see, when you get to that stage. But the thing about because I've met a good few Swiss, and I'm gigging there later on this year, so it should be fucking weird. Because rich white people are always strange to have to gig for. I was in where the fuck was I? I was in Brussels, and then I was in up the fucking country in Belgium, and it was the most white. They speak Dutch, like they don't speak Flemish, like, and it was just. I had to explain. I was doing an hour show, so I had to explain it to be. And God bless him, the poor old fucking the poor lad at the beginning. He was hosting it. Was just dire. Like he shit the bed and he just didn't do anything that he was about to say. But I had to explain, going, no, you can laugh here now. This is grand. But do you know when you can just smell money in the room? Like, I was the poorest by about 2,000% inside in that fucking room. Like, and I was trying to tell these people about fucking how they were going to manage themselves for the next hour.
But then on a world scale, if you sat with the rest of the 5 billion of the population.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm a king, like no doubt. Like I'd definitely be a baron anyway of some sort. Or
you also have to like put things in perspective, I suppose. It's like I always say, if I was born in India or something, I'd be pushing myself around the streets of Calcutta.
Oh yeah.
No legs on a skateboard.
They probably would have blinded you at this stage too to make extra money. That's the other side. But the Swiss are hilarious because they're not new money either, so they're cool as fuck about their money. They can throw it around like
new money in 1939, 44, 45, 46, 47.
But that's new money versus
Nazi.
Nazi.
Like,
for the Jews and hidden in Switzerland.
Oh, okay.
That's why. That's why. And that's why all the world's dictators send their fucking kids there to.
They're still only like getting reparations now for all that, aren't they? Still families trying to get back artwork and money and stuff.
But at that stage you've made your fucking money off the back of it. But it's funny.
Someone could, like, if I could steal 10 million off someone for 50 years and put it in a bank account, I'd be more than willing to
not about it. Have it back. Have it back.
Take it.
You're grand. Because they'll buy the Swiss that come into her shop, like they'll buy the goofiest thing, but just not. They're not lifting it up to see any fucking price tag. They're the only breed that come in that don't lift up anything to find out what it's worth, because they'll just go, oh grand, and they'll just hand over the platinum card or the black card.
It's mental.
Like they're the only race that are the only people that hand in the black card.
Let's move.
I'm sure that's
it's but there's they just don't have poverty. It's the most strangest thing, which is weird for a country that has rich people, because typically, like, Russia has all the fucking money now, as well as the Arabs. Yeah. But the flip side of that is they've colossal fucking poverty that you don't get to see, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, like, I mean, the last time I was in London last year gigging, and I was in, I don't know, can't remember, it was a big train station, enough that had a lot of shops in the plaza bit, you know, and there was a Dunkin' Donuts, and I was getting a coffee right beside it, and this grotesque looking, he was like something out of a fucking sci-fi movie. He just had boils coming out of his fucking ears, right? Just this guy who made hideous choices on everything he'd eaten in the past, but it was all to excess, and his family were all grotesque, and they were all speaking Russian, and he walked up to the kiosk of Dunkin' Donuts, and I suppose it was probably 10 foot wide, do you know what I mean, this little shop, and there was one lad working in there, and your man walks up and he just peels open the fucking wallet, and it was as fat as a fucking bale, and he says, "You'll take all donuts."
All donuts? All donuts.
And your man double looked, and he kind of half looked at me, even though I was getting a coffee at the next counter, and your man that was serving me the coffee looked around the fucking counter and went, "Fuck it up.
I need someone to kind of..."
And your man went, just which donut? He goes, "All donuts." And your man went, "Is it all the fucking donuts I have for the day?" He went, "We'll take all." And he says, "You bring to God." And he parked the car where only the emergency services could possibly park their car, because I walked out, even my train was due, I went, fuck, I have to see this. There was at least 20 boxes of donuts, and I'd say he was only going to fuck half of them to the birds, because it was just to show I can do this. Because even as you say about the name Brannock, or Brannock, I was gigging I did a panto this Christmas. The Christmas just gone, which I never even fucking had been to a panto.
Neither have I.
But you know what? They're actually worth going to. Go to a good one.
Yeah.
Fuck, are they? There is some, like, it is a level of professionalism that it would actually be awe-inspiring. Because myself and Carl Spain were hired to be, as in inverted commas, the funnies. So essentially, your character isn't really typically in. Like, they could have dropped us into fucking. We did Beauty and the Beast. They could have dropped us into Cinderella, Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
You know, they could have dropped us into anything. They were just a couple of castle characters who were fucking Egypts. But they were like these actors that were showing up. Everybody was happy. This is one thing I didn't. Everybody was fucking...
fuck that shit.
No, I swear to God, they were all, well, not happy, but they were all seemed very content to have fucking work.
Yeah.
But they were all from the West End. They were all serious fucking actors, this crowd, right? And they brought this one lad who was originally from Limerick, and his name was Brannock. I would have called him Brannock, not Brannock, but he was saying a couple of times when he was coming up now, he's full-time, he gets fucking big gigs, like he'll get a year-long run in Wicked or something like that, do you know what I mean, a West End show. But he was saying, like, when he was coming up, and he because he's tall, good-looking bloke, and he had the effeminate go about him because he was one of them, Mike, you know what I mean? He's one of the funny-handed lads.
Funny hand.
Jeez, I'm getting nervous.
No, it's grand.
I love the gays.
He's not here.
Not that way.
But he was saying he'd get a gig in working at Harrods just between fucking jobs, because a month might go by and there'd be no fucking acting work. But he would work at Harrods at the perfume counter for a buddy of his who managed a perfume, and there'd be perfume there that we never even heard of that'd be like 800 and 900 quid a bottle, only for the fucking sake of it being that.
Yeah.
But he'd be working there, and he was saying, like, these Arab women would come up just dead-eye, nothing in their life, nothing, because the money, they had no struggle, do you know? And you need a bit of fucking, you know what I mean, they'd have no aims or aspirations in life. There was just nothing. There was just quite literally billions behind them, and they didn't even think of it. They'd never been raised with numbers, and they'd walk over and go, "I will have 10 bottles," and he'd go, 10, madam, would you like to smell it? No. And she'd wander off, and just some poor lackey behind her would bag it up with him, like, and he just... And
it's almost sad in a way.
He used to actually feel sorry for him, because...
You don't, like when you got, like, your mom got you the perfume the last time, and you were happy. But if you would just endlessly have that, you know, it's just...
Yeah, my mum got me, she was in Edinburgh for the rugby, and got me a Britney Spears perfume that was on sale at the airport. I thought that was the best thing ever. Yeah. Couldn't get it here, can't get it in Galway, like, and I was like, oh, this is amazing.
But it's just if you have access to everything.
I'm going to smell like a broken childhood.
Yeah.
Smelling of shaved head and umbrellas.
Let's not do
shaved
this right now, because I will own each and every one of you.
Shaved gold.
But yeah, that's the thing. I was delighted to have gotten that. Like.
But it's amazing, like, isn't it? Like I was telling you on the way over here, like that lad he'd no notion of the world. Like, he growing up on 24,000 fucking acres, and he'd driven everything. They had their own fucking tarred roads everywhere throughout the farm, and he would tip around. He was a farm manager with his dad, and he choppered to college, and he bored then in college. But he never once had to touch it. He didn't. I'm not saying he didn't have to drive on one. He never fucking went on one. He didn't have to.
Yeah.
Because he was either choppered or it was already on their property.
Yeah.
So he didn't. So I mean, and the likes of this lad, you were going. He'd forget that you had a Ferrari parked up for the last 4 years. Totally forgot it. Do you know? But it's the level of fucking. But he had no want. You could see by him, he was just dead inside too. Like you know, he was trying to do the whole adventurous shit with being speedboats and all the rest of it. Like,
well, I think we appreciate when we have to do like gigs or appearances or ads or anything. When we get paid, we're really grateful.
Yeah, of course.
Because we are both from very working class families, like so.
Welfare class.
I think the majority of us are from a former working class fucking family. I mean, and people who start to get notions about themselves, like you know what I mean. Like, and this is
like,
what
my outlet had to give up working to care for my mother. It was not deceased because she got dementia and Alzheimer's. So like when we were growing up, we had nothing. Like.
Yeah.
He was basically given like what? I don't know, like 80 quid, 90 quid a week.
Fuck.
That was it. And that's what we had for
children.
And to make that work.
Yeah. So like you had fucking nothing, like you know. So.
Yeah.
So I suppose everything you get after that is a benefit. Like of course.
Absolutely.
But still saying that, I'd love to have enough money to start throwing it in people's faces.
Yeah, absolutely.
Flicking it out the window. Fuck all y'all. Sup, bitch. Sup.
Making it rain, which you don't have to do in Galway because it looks after it itself most of the fucking time.
Don't worry. We think about rain, it rains here.
Give it a minute, it'll change. It's alright. I remember saying that to,
oh no, it rained again.
I said that to a bloke one, and I only just said it. It was a gorgeous morning, and I was over in Galway, and I was chatting with a guy, and he was, in this 10 years I've been coming to Galway, I said it'll rain at some stage over a weekend, and the guy got highly insulted. Like I said, it rains piss. Do you know what I mean? He was like, what? I mean, yeah, that's kind of a fact. It's not a matter of opinion. It genuinely has rained every time I've been here. And he went, yeah, well, I mean, no, that doesn't happen everywhere else in the country. And
we have this massive sense of denial, though.
Yeah,
but if you were here 2 weeks ago, like, it didn't rain in May at all. It was only a while ago.
Yeah.
And then the day before, I was going to swear my life. The Americans are looking at me, and I'm there, no, it was fucking lovely. It was lovely. It was.
For an hour.
That's why periodic, like, alcoholism takes on, because everybody rushes to the Spanish. That's why they don't enforce any outdoor drinking laws, because it's like, fucking let them have it.
They've had it hard all year.
Yeah.
It's like where I'm from now is proper fucking sticks, like based in the mountain stuff. Like, and there was a pub, your man kept on getting done for after hours, like, because it was just, what the fuck are you going to do? Like, you know what I mean? You got to serve after hours, and people were sitting in and having a drive. They weren't going to get caught in any traffic on the way home, that's for sure. Like, you can be guaranteed Google traffic every single time we go. Traffic is light in your area, 24 hours a day. But this poor and even the judge, who was known to be quite a tough bastard, just kind of went, "Era, for fuck's sake." He actually just went, what?
Come on.
Poor fucking Jesus, what else have they got out there? Bar fucking incest.
That's
do you know,
when you know you're in a remote area.
Yeah,
the judges
the fucking judges on your side going.
Law doesn't even cover.
Yeah, just let him at it. Like people slag off poor old Mike. Was it your man fucking one of the Healy Rays? Now he did say about, no, I have eaten food all right, and I've gone.
Driving.
What was his food driving? Was fucking amazing.
Should I have a big meal?
But I'm not joking. There was a moment, right, where, but you see that fucker sitting down, he's eating like a big steak fucking dinner.
I know, yeah.
You don't stop at a roadside and eat a fucking a 24-ounce fucking steak and go, because that's sleepy time straight after that. Mikey Healy Ray. Get a bag of.
I do that sometimes though. But my mother always used to do it every Sunday dinner.
Yeah, they were saying
She'd go off down into the room and go to sleep, and you could not disturb her. If you went in the room, you'd be getting bet. Yeah. It was like, leave mom sleep now. For
there's nothing. There is after if you did like as I get older, I don't. It's much easier for me to get fatter. I've noticed that really easy. Like my face would blow up like a fucking balloon in 2 seconds. But if I had a good pig out, especially on a Sunday, well, it's whatever fucking day, if nothing else is on for the rest of the day, a snooze is fucking class. Yeah. But then kind of guilt kicks in and going, you can't really, I'm not old enough yet to really justify fucking sleeping in the middle of the day, am I?
I do it though.
Yeah, but I mean,
she's always giving out.
You have an excuse.
Turn off that.
A whore of a thing, curse of a fucking yoke.
They're one of them mobile phones.
Older.
Oh, is that one of the... Is he gigging tonight?
Yeah, he's probably out there somewhere.
Probably is.
Oh, he's fucking lost. Yeah. Sure, he'll tell your man behind the bar will fucking tell him. He'll come strolling in. Is that the lad with the... Yeah, I met him. Is he from Offaly?
Mullingar.
Close enough.
Nice fella.
They'll win fucking knotting it in.
No.
So it's alright.
Remember when we were going up to Mullingar? And you come off the motorway and you drive a while.
Oh,
and then,
yeah,
and then it
there's
goes,
these,
you have
like,
entered Zone B.
Zone A
I thought we went,
and
what?
Zone B.
We brought it up on during our set, like, and I was there, what the fuck is this?
I
It's
felt
Zone
like I was
What
in the
is-
Hunger Games or something. There was like, go through the roundabout at Zone A, and there's these big signs.
Zone
like you're
A.
in
I thought, like,
a
the
fucking
apocalypse.
concentration camp.
The
or
apocalypse
something.
hit on the
Zone
way
B, I
over,
was
like,
Good.
It's weird.
Just
It
people
goes
coming
on
out
for
from
about
Mullingar.
4 miles before
Yeah,
you come
Zone
into Mullingar. All
Zone
these
D or
zones.
Zone E or something.
Is that why he goes around with the bow and arrow? Maybe he's trying to be one fucking
Probably, yeah.
the Mockingjay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the girl on fire.
Hunting virgins.
He is Katniss.
Only the blood of the virgins can cure the herpes.
Just
But
got
they-
a reminder on my phone there. Event today at 9 o'clock. Tom Barrowman.
Good. We found it out. Yeah, we didn't mention that. Yeah, because
yes.
this won't go out till next Wednesday, obviously. But yeah, how often is Trappers on?
Monthly. So the next one is the 23rd of June with John Cleary.
Yeah. He'll be way better than I am. Trust me. No, I think we all know that.
Oh yeah, geez, we're only getting you down for the crap.
Well, this is it. You knew the podcast was happening. Like,
Ja.
It's great though to have the kind of club. Like it's stressful in a way because trying to get people into a club is tough,
for
especially at the
fuck's
beginning.
sake.
But like if you look at some of the acts we've had, like we're having John Cleary, we've had you, we had Ross Brown, we had Fred Cook, like we've had.
But that's the thing.
Pat McDonald.
There's an awful lot to be said in comedy for being sound.
Yeah.
Because what people don't realise is if you're sound, you will get gigs, and people will enjoy coming to your gigs.
Yeah.
Because once you the amount of whole pain you will get off people for unnecessary fucking reasons.
Well, I think that's kind of our problem. Like, we're lovely to everyone we meet, and we appreciate every comedian we meet. Shut up.
Come on.
And but I think some people in the industry seem to just have some sort of vendetta against us because we're not traditional comedy.
Yeah.
I certainly wouldn't worry about that. I'm 7.5 years gigging flat to the fucking board at this thing, and I'm still not in, and I will never be in. Yeah. I'll never be part of the trendy crowd.
Well, it's just so upsetting because you're grown people. This is like being back in school.
No, this is the irony of this is, and I had this drunkenly said to me one night by a person who would be doing quite well, but it was based on how, well, you played fucking sports and were the cool kid in school, and now you're on the back foot, you cunt. Basically, and it was hilarious. It's like, so what you're doing is almost a revenge thing. This is because you're doing now what you're saying. And I says, I was never fucking like that for starters. Otherwise, I'd still be like that. I'd still be a cunt if you think I'm a cunt. But it was kind of put to me going, well, what have you got to offer people that want to feel good about themselves? I went, nothing, just fucking good jokes. And they went, that's not good enough. You gotta have an agenda, and I don't have an agenda. I'm white, straight, and male. Right now, that's not hot. You know what I mean?
We call them the sunflower brigade of comedians.
Oh yeah, but there's apparently,
like, we've heard some of the shit they've said about us. It's horrible.
Really,
I no doubt.
I think it's worse because they've actually asked us for gigs.
And
then we hear from other comedians that they're like, do they really want to live their lives being video people all the time? Or if you'll pardon the pun, they're a joke and all this. And
But that'd be something that wouldn't ever leap into my brain. I wouldn't ever go, what are they doing with themselves on a daily basis? I just take it on the face of what it is. You're cracking.
It just says something that when these well-known comedians are talking about us like that, it says something that they think about our day to day.
Yeah, because a lot of people in the arts world, full stop, are weirdos. And they spend their days just fucking wondering about what other people are doing. And if they were,
I suppose they just they don't like the videos, they don't like the character. Fair enough, that's fine. But they can't seem to see past that and see that people do like it.
Yeah.
The message is like, even last week we got a woman whose daughter died in a car accident.
Right.
And she thanked us.
Class.
For making her laugh, because her sister showed her the videos 5 days after or whatever in the hospital.
That takes a lot to even write that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I
didn't know what to say. I was there to Sinead look. We've had a good few about people going through chemo or something like that, but we've never had such a raw, my daughter died a week ago kind of thing.
Yeah, but that's all that really fucking matters, because they're the only people who are going to buy in. A fucking comedian's not going to buy a ticket to see you.
In
You know
this
what I mean?
whole industry, when they're all too busy bitching about us, comedy is about making people laugh. And if we're not doing your traditional stand-up where you stand up with your microphone and we're doing it together. It doesn't matter. We're still making people laugh, and that's comedy. Like,
but what you do is also
come here. I got set upon something unbelievable for doing Damon Ivor. Unfucking believable, like. And it was like, really? I'm going to turn down a fucking payday. Are you out of your mind? When I have 250,000 people 6 times a fucking 6 episodes watching. Like you would. I went to a Trinity thing, and you want this debate thing, and you want to see all these fucking fuckers. Just they all had their pre-scripted jokes, and they were all going to have a go at me and all the rest of it, and have a go at Quirk and Andy, and it was like, but are they? And you're like, dude, you're in Trinity, you're wearing tweed trousers. You know what I mean? What the fuck are you actually saying? You like, but it's the jumped up and the amount. Like and it was like rarely people would ever say it to my face anyway. That's for sure, because they're half frightened that I could actually just fucking snap. But
you get that a lot. People will mouth, but they'll never.
Oh, they'll never say it to your face because they'll never say it to your face. Like
one day there was like 5 lads in a car and they drove fast shouting out faggot. So I got out of the car and I just like they were, you know, the way Air Square you can just loop around, not around the whole square, but the top of it. And I was just like, come on, I'm hearing me on it, I'm disabled, reference here, and they're just like, look, you know.
They'll shit the bed straight away, like,
I've asked people to, in the early days of the videos, I've got, like, because I suppose I took it so personally, I was like, I will come and meet you now if you wanted to tell me how much you hate me to my face. I was like getting dressed and everything. I was going to town. You know what I mean? Like,
and they just never let him though.
No.
But they never would show. Anyway, it's all the one. Like, I know. I mean, it's. You can. Here's the other side of it. You can go work in a fucking factory and only deal with 4 people in your life, or you can have your videos viewed by 1 million people. You're going to get some fucking, and you're going to get people, especially who are in the industry of comedy and all the rest of it. Because, but that's what surprises me, that you would get so much fucking grief because. You're not treading on anybody's toes. You're fucking. You're doing your own thing. You've actually set up your own. You've almost set up your own style of it. It's almost going harping back to the Unbelievable style thing, where it's not the traditional style. So I don't fucking.
But that's what people's problems are. They've been working so hard for maybe 10 years or so doing traditional comedy, and we've been doing it maybe 2 years now. And they're like, well, you haven't been doing all the little clubs and not getting paid.
A lot of people judge by that. Like, he's only doing it for a year.
I have. What's that got to do with it? I have, and I've no. You know what I mean?
We didn't do this on purpose, you know.
It happened accidentally.
For fuck's sake. Whether you did or you didn't, that's nobody's fucking business. Like,
it kind of did though. It happened accidentally. Like I had the videos on my phone for.
I heard that'd kill people. You should say that more often too. That'd fucking kill people. That's great. Yeah.
No, but it's true.
I didn't even fucking want this, lads. I'm making a fortune.
No, but I had them on my phone, like, and I didn't even put them up on the internet because I was wary about it, like, and because I thought, you know, people are pulling the piss or whatever. So then I put up the Conor McGregor one, like. I was heading up to Dublin with my friend Gary. He was getting wheels for his car, and by the time I came down, like, it was gone mental. Like, it was on like the Sun, the Star, Joe Doddy, Unilad, Benchwarmers, everything. People were coming over to me.
What was the first? So was that the first one that exploded?
First one was with my brother.
Yeah.
And
well, that didn't explode.
No, that kind of.
The first video you did was your brother, but the first kind of viral and picked up.
Yeah, but that was like the second video I put up.
What was the first big explosion? Was it the Fresh Prince one?
No, the Conor McGregor one.
Was it?
Yeah, it wasn't even like a Farmer Michael accent. It was just me.
Yeah, it was him.
It was kind of a like more of a bi-racery kind of thing. There you, Conor McGregor, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I'm calling out you to fight or whatever. And
then I remember that. Yeah.
And I said something about he's copying my style or whatever. And if I get my hands on you, do you know what I'll do to you? Nothing. I'll run away because I'm scared.
yeah.
But it was only a short little clip, like, and then kind of that blew up, and I was like, I don't know what the fuck to do now. So I suppose I kept throwing them up, I suppose, and people like
But
them.
entertainment is entertainment, regardless of fucking.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it takes a while though to get used to it all. It's strange, like, and the whole like people
really
like. People snapping you, like you were in Tesco or Iceland or something.
Yeah, Iceland opened in Galway the last day, and I got 2 snaps. One person snapped me from like the back of Iceland. They're like, "Did you find anything nice?" And I was like, "What the fuck?" And then one guy who was working there nearly hit my mum with a trolley. And someone snapped me. Then they were like, "Mind your mum doesn't fall over."
It's so strange, like.
And I can't tell my mum about them because she will panic. She's like, "Who is following?"
Yeah, it's like my uncle. My uncle hasn't a clue.
Has he not? No.
My uncle hasn't an idea. I'd be driving into town, loads of people would be flashing the lights and beeping and things and waving, and if someone comes over for a photo, like, Dad, who's he? And I go, I don't know that.
That's fucking hilarious.
But I think he kind of knew something different was happening and his son wasn't in prison and was actually making a difference in life was when, do you remember Ronan said that we were going up to some...
Oh, we were going to Macklemore.
Yeah, we're going to a concert, and my outfit said to my brother Ronan, like, is it Stephen that's performing? So it kind of
right. So he knew something was on. Yeah.
So it's kind of sinking in that I do gigs and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like,
But
I suppose for the outfit, he doesn't see me on the telly.
Yeah. When you were telling him all these things, we're performing in blah blah blah, and we're doing a gig with such a. Oh yeah, Ronan's still in bed. Yeah. And you're like, thanks.
Kind of
right, water off a duck's fucking back.
Yeah, but I don't. It's not deliberately. I think he doesn't know how to.
No, that's.
I'm proud of you.
No, but
yeah.
You'll never get that. The mother came to a gig, the second ever gig last weekend. She dies in fucking nerves. She thinks she's about to be brought up and tell fucking jokes, like. But she was all right because the neighbours came and stuff like that. But she went to bed, get chips afterwards. That was it. And I wouldn't. Do you know what? I wouldn't want anything because we're not from a huggy, I love you kind of family. Herself now, she comes from a posh part of Dublin, and they're mad into hugging each other, and they'll give each like since day dot they give each other a kiss on the cheek and I love you. And it's like, and that was a lot for me to take on board. And I was like, what in the name of fuck?
I would have seen that, like, if my mother bought me a bag of chips, that'd be like, she loves me. I'd probably break down into tears.
That was all.
My mum is the worst, though. I mean, I know she loves me and I know she's proud of me. But
you're a bit more lovey-dovey, though.
Yeah.
You'd say I love you and stuff.
In this kind of thing, I'll be like, Mum, I'm going to Australia now. They want us to do a tour there. I'm going to tour in England, and I've done an ad for, I don't know, Boojum, Chorus Light. We're making loads of money, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, well... They're still looking for people though, part-time and pennies.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, Mum, I don't have time.
I'm not joking with you. Like, if it wasn't enough for the mother to see me on national television.
No.
Like, it wasn't at all.
No.
It was only.
So that's not regular work.
No, what do you? And how?
What do you be doing when that ends? Like?
Yeah, but it can be summed up brilliantly. The grandparents, they're still alive because they just don't die on that side.
Fair enough.
Like he couldn't make it. The grandparents couldn't come because he's ropey. After about 5 miles he gets motion sickness, so he's like, fuck, I'm raging, I can't go. I was like, alright. But his sister came, who's 92, his brother came, who's 98, and his cousin came, who's in his 90s as well. But they just don't die. But they came to a gig of mine about 2 years ago, and it was I didn't let off the throttle at all. I did foul stuff and everything, like, and it was. The grandfather was like, I came down to him afterwards and stuff, and I was sitting with him, and the grandmother gets up and goes to the toilet, and he leans back, he goes, Jesus, you would do well as a single man at this kind of carry on, I'd say, would you? And you're going, what? And he just kind of gives me a wink like a pure OG. You're like, fuck, you're way cooler than my actual old lad.
Oh my
God.
But my grandmother comes back and she says, I said, well, what do you think of that? She goes, that church is grand now. Not knowing how to process it, because it's the performance arts. Unless you're working a shovel or producing a physical fucking thing of some sort, they don't. What?
Can't conceive of it.
Her reply to that was, oh sure, 'twas fine now, but I thought you'd sing a song. Just, if you're on a stage, what else would you be fucking doing? Just no guitar, no. Do you know, it was just, that was how she processed it. Like, you know what I mean? It was the grandfather.
Entertainers sing songs, and that's it. You know?
But the grandfather, 97, was able to process it better than my own parents. Like, what in the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, I think it's gas that your grandparents are still alive.
Yeah.
Because mine, like, I suppose.
Nobody's, like, I'm 35. Nobody I know has their grandparents still alive.
Wow.
Are you 35?
Yeah.
Jesus. You look fresher than I do, though.
I think I look like
you
dead.
both look like late 20s.
No,
Mental.
Did you ever see the picture I put up of me 10 years ago? My last passport.
No.
I'll show it to you after this. You won't actually fucking. I posted it one day, and because it even shocked me because I had to get a new passport. I went, fuck! I looked like a 44-year-old traveller that would bait the fucking head off you. My face is about 9 foot wide.
Oh my God.
I was on everything that was semi-legal. That was just to fucking get jacked. And I was playing rugby at the time, and it was no matter what. There was nobody. They were testing us only every fucking 3 months, so you could pretty much, like, we were eating fucking Angelone and everything, ready to chew the fucking door off the hinges going out. But it's just ridiculous how, like, I met a bloke who went to school with me now. He looks 94. Like, I'm not joking. He actually has 6 kids. He came to the show the other. I was like, 6, and you're only 34, 35. Went, yeah, I know, yeah. Like, no, there's no, I know, yeah, you mad fuck.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Like,
Nothing wrong.
what year is this?
Yeah,
Like, you don't need that.
Yeah, so she's pregnant with triplets.
But this is it. And in driving tractors is mighty. And you're like, great, yeah, great. And you're producing the next generation. That's fantastic. But he's a nice fella. But fuck me, he looked like he'd been through the ringer. Like, I mean, I'm not into beauty products or whatever, but fuck whatever he's been eating and drinking and doing to himself stress-wise in the last fucking 10 years.
Yeah, strange though, people that'd be the same age as you, and you kind of look at them and they're raky kids and they look really old and just despondent.
Yeah. Dead.
Kind of thing. Like,
dead. This is even, I remember when I started out of comedy, a mate of mine went to college with him. We were fucking best friends. We were kind of about third cousin, I think, but he was fucking gas man, but he was always a bit old, you know, that kind of, and you knew he was going to be fucking old the second he left college. Yeah. And I met him about 2 years into doing comedy. I did a gig near home, and he came, and I swear to God, himself and the missus, they looked grey. They had about 17 children, and even she was kind of going to Natasha. We were only going out a while. Like, she was going, don't have kids too early. That's all I'm telling you. Okay. Next, she started into the gin at like 7 in the evening, and about 3 fucking drinks in, she's like, I swear to God, do not have kids too early.
That was honest of her though, because usually women like that would try and drag you. Oh, you should have kids.
In fairness, I was surprised. She was the total opposite. She was going, if I have any advice for you, and if you two are going to stick the course, don't have fucking kids too early.
Wear sunscreen.
Yeah, wear sunscreen. No fear of that in Galway.
I tell you what, rain screen.
Just wear Vaseline on your forehead, like the fighters.
I suppose it's just because looking back at the grandparents thing, it's just, I suppose, because mine died so kind of. They were old, but it was so long ago because there was such a massive gap. Like, well, that's my brother was born in 1996 and his grandfather was born in 1896.
Jesus Christ!
Clean 100 years between grandfather and grandson. So like he was dead before I was even born.
There's a big gap between your brother though and you as well.
Yeah, like my two brothers, my younger brothers, they would have had no grandparents.
Yeah.
Like, since they were born.
But like that, my mother's parents who were in Kilkenny, like since I only remember them from when I was small, because her eldest brother is now in like close to his 80s. You know, that kind of way. Like, so she was the youngest and my father was the eldest. But then again, the O'Mahony's and my mother and my grandmother's family, they live like I met by pure fluke. I met my granduncle on my grandmother's side, pulls up beside me the other day in Cork going, oh yeah, saw you on the telly a couple of weeks ago. I says, who the fuck are you? He goes, I'm your fucking granduncle. And he's called Tom as well. One thing you'll learn when talking, there is nothing but Toms. It's like we're all. It's like we.
I had 2 Uncle Toms growing up.
But there's everybody who even marries in. There's Toms everywhere. At the wedding, it was fucking got ridiculous. Like, it's not even Tommies or Thomases. It's just Toms. They've just gone. It's like we're paying for one fucker to make one gravestone, and that's it. Fuck us all into the one hole. Yeah. It's like, no, to be grand. To be grand.
There's Toms, but in the Toms one there.
But sure, even I look back through it. It was like back the last 6 generations. My old lad is called Bill, and it's either been Bill or Tom. It's like, and they use one. There's a big old fucking tomb, the O'Mahony's tomb, and they fuck us all into it. Cheap as chips. No digging, no nothing. Just pull open the granite joke and fuck him in.
My family's, it's all Brendans, Johns, Toms. That's the majority of the names. I had
that. My granddad's name is actually Anus. So.
Anus?
Yeah.
Anus?
Yeah.
I've heard. Oh, he's not from Kerry, is he?
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
Do you know there was a guy.
My grandfather's arsehole.
There's a neighbours of ours at home, and their son now is probably maybe 20, 21. He listens to this, so Connor Healy, you will know that. I don't know if you know this, but prior to him being born, my mother, I think he'd be probably his uncle or granduncle from Kerry, was Anus as well. But to be like Anus, you know, and you wouldn't. When you're young, you'd think it was. Yeah, it's fucking like Amen. You know what I mean? You didn't.
I know. I never copped it.
Never copped it, like. But
yeah.
My mother convinced his mother, going, you cannot, and you fucking will. You will not name that young fella fucking Anus. You can't. Not in the modern day, because.
Why don't you go for something like rectum?
Because, but sure, even I was walking around, you know, and even I, like, you know, nothing's off, and you'll make a name out of a slag out of any lad's name. His name could be fucking John. Oh, John, fucking Mickey John. You know, you'll just stick. But if some kid walks in, kids would explode.
Oh, yeah,
they would actually explode because it'd be too good.
You're like a dog in the yard.
Yeah, it'd be too good. It'd be just like, there's Anus walking in. Fuck.
You like naming your child Wank or something.
I think I first kind of copped it when I realised his name was ridiculous, and I went up to my grandmother's and we were talking about, because I'm really into horses and so was my granddad, and she was saying,
you're not travelling folk, are you?
Not
Jesus, that was a stumbling fuck. Whoa, Steve.
on his side.
Fair play to you, Steve. You crossed the border.
But I knew when it was really bad is when she was talking. I was just talking about my
Can't
horse,
resist bending
and
slow
she
every
was
year.
Like, she goes, oh yeah, your anus is really into the horses too. And I was like, sorry? And I was like, oh, that's my
Wow, Uranus. Neither the planet nor my anus.
Actually, Stephen or your whoever. And I was like,
Oh Jesus! But you can't. You just fucking can't.
I know.
Like
Uncle Rectum.
Shut up. Well, I have an uncle then. His son is Davy Anus. I was like, oh, you know.
Davy Anus.
Yeah.
The only thing though, with a name like Davy Anus, you'd have to give your full name because you have to hold your hands up then. Because there's Paul Marsh. You know Paul Marsh.
Yeah.
So he had a mate of his growing up, and his name was always Lou when he was in college. Or I think it was when he was starting off with the fire service. His name was Lou. That's all anybody assumed it was Louis or something like that.
Yeah.
His actual name was Lucifer. Yeah, because there is a Saint Lucifer, and he was born after he was named after Saint Lucifer.
Oh,
and you're like, what kind of? But
I love that name.
But you'd have. But even, do you know what? If I was named Anus, I swear to God, I'd be headlining fucking Vicar Street right now.
Yeah.
If you'd a name Anus,
Yeah. There's a term for that. It was on QI.
really, for having
where
a.
you try to live up to the name you're given. Oh, what a fright.
How hard does Steve mean?
Something like nominal. Oh, I know what he called him.
So there is actually a thing to live up to.
Yeah, the name
Yeah,
you're
Tom
given.
was handy enough, really. It was,
Yeah.
They give me a name that is my initials.
Stephen.
That's how fucking easy they made my life.
I don't like the name Stephen though.
I do.
Stephen.
Stephen.
But I would like to-
Stephen.
Stephen. You know, it's a waiter's name, isn't it? Like,
No, Stephen manages the Xerox fucking side of
Stephen's
Galway Xerox
yeah, he's
factory.
an IT dude.
He is, yeah.
But see, you know the way I'm saying that Stephen, that I'm even pronouncing it, but I'm spelling it with a V.
Yeah.
The other Stephen, then he does something different. The PH one.
Yeah.
Stephen with the
He's probably
PH.
higher acidic.
I'd say what Stephen with the PH does is he builds kayaks, I'd say. And has longish hair and probably braids, and it's definitely been to Bali a few times. Like.
And his other name is Andreas de Stack.
One of these, yeah, because the PH one is definitely different. But
Yeah.
Stephen with the V, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Stephen for the he knows what side his bread is buttered on. Like he's
Yeah, I remember when I was in hospital, the nurses just used to call me Stefan. Stefan! I remember the first day I was due physio and 2 Filipino nurses came up and they were like standing at the bottom of the bed and they go, Stefan, you're going for the fish show now. And
The fish show?
The fish show. But I thought, because there was my father was pushing me around in the wheelchair when I went to visit, and there was a big fish tank downstairs in the lobby of the National Rehab Hospital. I thought it was actually a fish show. I thought there was something happy going on, like. And then they're like,
watch what they've trained his carp to do.
And then they wheeled me into this place with weights and shit, and I was like, I remember being on the plinth in the physio place, my legs strapped up.
Still expecting fish.
No. The physio's going on. Move your right leg there, no. And I was there. Yeah. She goes, move your left leg there, no. And I go, yeah. And she goes, can you move them at all? And I go, well, if they're moving, they're doing all they can. It's like no movement from here down. I couldn't even sit up.
How long
I sat up, I just fell over.
How long did it take it to come around, do you think?
6-7 months, I think. I was in the hospital for about 6-7 months. I was in the wheelchair when I left.
Yeah.
That's good dedication, in fairness. I don't think I've come back from very few minor, nothing to that fucking extent. I can only appreciate it. I remember I broke my fucking AC joint one time, and it was one of the few times I've ever been debilitated in my life. Although I got electrocuted once. Yeah, and I couldn't move. I thought that's it, I'm fucking curtains. I was lying on my back. It was drawing silage as you do, and hit fucking got electrocuted off the tractor. What's that?
Silage in Lochray.
Silage and rock. Yeah. Silage. No, oh man, I'm proper proper. Well laid. Hand up to the windscreen, back of the hand. That's the country over, isn't
She
it?
says that doesn't exist.
What?
Me yesterday, the old.
It doesn't exist.
No, I have never seen anyone, and I am from my family live on a fucking mountain in the Kerry border. And
Maybe
no
they're
one
just
has
not
ever
saluting
done
you.
that.
Maybe this is. Trust me, I'm not joking.
Alice, she's one of them townies. She wouldn't know.
I've lived in West Cork. I've lived in Cavan. I've lived in fucking Malahide. I've lived in fucking Longford. I'm not joking with you. The country over uses the back of the hand, especially if they're driving a twin cam. Lead.
When I see someone that's not either of you doing that, I'll believe you.
All right, fair enough.
You will.
Just go. I tell you what, go to Fermoy for a fucking weekend and look at all the fucking donut marks on the road, and you're guaranteed to see a fella using the back of his hand. So Scan is definitely a yoke here, though, isn't it? Scan is a term of hello, isn't it?
Scan.
It's lead almost everywhere else with 3 or 4 A's in the middle of it. Like. Yeah.
Or boy, B-Y-I-I-I-I-I.
Yeah. And they like that up north as well, though. The bye. They love it. I'd say, do you know what? What time we should get set up? Yeah, should really.
8:05.
Yeah, we should. We've been fucking motoring.
Yeah.
Anyway, right. Just when's your next gigs? Your next tour
gig
shows?
is the 3rd of June in the Manhattan Mixer in Laois.
Manhattan Mixer in Laois, I know it.
Then 9th, 10th, 11th, Bear in the Woods. You're doing that.
Yes,
too.
we're all there together.
And then
if I'm gonna suck the boys off.
you stop it. We're trying to promote.
Oh, I'm not joking.
And I'm gonna give Mike Skinner a reach around.
Listen,
No, Mike Skinner can go and fuck off. Right said Fred. All right.
Right said Fred.
Might offer a rimmer. That's all I'm saying. If I can get.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. There's a chance with them.
There is a chance. We totally be in there.
So you're telling me.
I'm
So
trying
you're
to promote
no.
myself.
If it gets me as within an inch of fucking House of Pain, I'll probably end up snogging one of the boys.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'm ready for anal just yet. Anus fucking just yet.
Anus. No one's ready for that.
So the 3rd in
Port Leash in the Manhattan Mixer, 9th and 11th Bear in the Woods, and then 16th and 17th of June Civic Theatre Tala.
Oh, you're gonna love that. You're gonna fucking love the Civic Theatre.
I hope so.
No, the women there are fucking animals. They will. I'm not. You know, the whole place is run by the hardest women you've ever met. Great crack, but by fuck, they'll bait people in the door. They just.
Thank God.
I've no name, and they managed to sell it out fucking 3 years for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fucking know. On a fucking like a Sunday night was my last gig, and they managed to sell it out. They will. Tala has 100,000 fucking people living in it.
Wow.
They go and drag them in.
They make sure. Do you know what you do? I'll put you on to somebody who'll get you on the front cover of the Intala magazine, and that will sell
That'd
it out.
be great.
Yes,
That'd
we'll
be
do that.
really
We'll do
great.
that. We'll hook up after this because
Excellent.
you're dropping me home, so.
Yeah, exactly.
So no, I'll hook you up with the dude, Paul Drake.
Cool.
They're coming your way. Well, thank you very much,
Thank you
Sinead
so
and
much.
Stevo. This has been sexy.
It has been.
Sexy.
Unreal.
Good luck.